Good morning, everybody. I had to check in before the biggest match of 2020. Thank goodness for Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal, two legends going at it. And one thing I can promise you, here's what I can promise you about the French Open 2020 final. There might be some nervous moments. Sure, there might be some unforced errors here and there, but I guarantee you it is not going to be a choke fest like we watched when we saw Zverev playing Thiem in the finals of the US Open. These are two veterans who are playing for the history of tennis. They literally, I mean, you could make an argument, and I know I'm going to get flack for it, but you could make an argument. Whoever wins this match is the greatest ever. I mean, think about it. Good morning. Good morning, Peter. We have another Peter on here. Yeah, say hello. Let me know where you're from. And definitely let me know your pick. Peter says he agrees. Let me know your pick. Who do you think is going to win this amazing matchup of two titans? And I'm getting goosebumps, like literally getting goosebumps, excited for this match because – 2020 has not given us too much to be excited about. And this is just a classic match with so much on the line. Think about this. If Novak Djokovic wins, he stops Nadal from getting number 20, which will tie with Roger's record of 20, which, Roger is certainly hoping. I know, he probably, such a classy guy, probably says he wouldn't be and he'd be happy for Rafa, but trust me, he is rooting for Novak today. Very hard to say on these court conditions. Yes, we're going to talk about the court condition too. So you have Novak Djokovic trying to stop Rafa from winning his 13th. Think about how crazy that is. 13th French Open title. That's just insane right there. I mean, before Roger and all these players came around, just winning 13 period would have you be maybe the greatest ever, right? We were amazed that Pete Sampras won 14. He could maybe win 13 Grand Slam titles in one event. That's crazy. So if Rafa wins and he gets to 20, is he the greatest? Is he the greatest ever? If Novak wins, even though he has less slams at 18, which I think he's going to get to 20 and surpass 20 when he's all done, as long as he stays healthy, always on crazy high stakes. If Rafa won the final, it's 20 after all those injuries. I mean, think about that too. Yeah, think about that. Think about how many injuries Rafa has had, how much time he spent off the tour. We're seeing that with Roger now, but for most of Roger's career, and you got to give credit to Roger's training. I mean, it doesn't happen by accident. Roger's training, the way his style of play, Roger was able to stay relatively pain-free, at least that we could tell, through most of his career. Not so for Rafa. I mean, Rafa has had some major injuries, taken him off the tour for a while, and then when he's come back, he had a trouble. I remember there was a point where Rafa did not win a tournament for 18 months. So think about all that Rafa's accomplished in really, even though he's been on the tour a long time, in a shorter amount of time than Roger, as far as years on the tour and, injuries. So you could make an argument that if Rafa wins today, he is the greatest ever, right? You could make an argument that if Novak wins, even though he doesn't have 20 yet, he's the greatest ever. And let me tell you why I think Novak actually is the greatest ever, especially if he wins today. Because he just kind of bloomed and blossomed a little later than, first of all, he's a little younger, and it took him a while longer to figure out the magic formula to dominate, okay? It took him longer to where he struggled, and he was the third fiddle for many, many years behind Rafa, behind Roger. But once he figured it out, he has dominated the tour. There's no other way to put it. I know Roger fans, I know Rafa fans, but look, if you are really honest, he has dominated the last 10 years of tennis. I mean, does anybody disagree with that? He's dominated the last 10 years of tennis. This year, he is 31-1, okay? and really he has not lost a match all year. He's really 31-0 because that unfortunate incident, which was completely 100% his fault, he's taken the blame for that. He said it was his mistake. He said he should have been defaulted, but he has not lost a match to where, the last ball he hits goes out or someone hits a winner. He's got to shake hands a loser. He's not lost a match all year. Remember that. He just won the Rome event leading up to this. Okay. Since 2015, Novak Djokovic is 10-3 against Nadal. So it's a great rivalry. It's an amazing rivalry, but it really has not been an even head-to-head battle for over 10 years now. I mean, what do you guys think about that? I think everybody wants, or most people, they want to say that Roger is the greatest because he has 20, and maybe that Nadal is the greatest or they're equal. They want those two. They're the fan favorites. But if you look at the last 10 years of tennis, it has not been close to equal. Novak has been eating up titles faster than anybody and losing less than everybody. That's true. So this matchup today, guys, I'm looking forward. Tom says, I'm looking forward to it. I love Federer, but head-to-head against these two, I think they have the advantage. Fed has been way behind these two. Actually, if anything, Fed's had a little bit of a resurgence against Rafa. He's beaten Rafa in their last couple of matchups, but then Rafa, for the longest time, was just taking Fed to the cleaners. There's no other way to say it. Okay, especially last time they played on clay. I think that was last year. That was an absolute just beat down by Rafa. So this match has the potential because these two. These two know how to rise to the occasion. This is why we love these legends, because they're going to come and they're going to give it everything they have. This could be another match. Mark Davis is on. Mark Davis says he hopes it's an epic final, and we know he's going for Novak Djokovic. He's a big Novak fan. But this has everything just built up to where it could be a 5-set battle, absolute war. And we could see both these guys. Remember the Australian Open final when they both had to sit down because they had put everything into the match? We could see that again today. We could see a trophy ceremony where both these guys are lying down on the floor, sitting in chairs, barely able to stand. That's kind of heavyweight fight this is. And this right here could be the most important match of both these two lives. I know that's putting a lot on it, but think about it. Think about how big and huge this match is. It's amazingly, it's just so awesome. Now, what the surface today, we know that Rafa is the king of clay, but Rafa is the king of clay because, not because, I mean, look, he's dominated this tournament too. He's just the king of clay. There's no other way to put it. But the normal clay court season is they play when it's warm. They play when it's warm. And when we're having a normal French Open final, Matt from Coffee Break Tennis, who has the best show, who has the best tennis show in the world, make sure you check out Coffee Break Tennis. Matt said that Rafa's ball bounces 8 inches higher when the conditions are warm and it's just a regular tournament. When it's damp, wet, cold, his ball is not giving that same kick and the court is slower. And Novak has said that he likes these conditions. And Rafa has said that he doesn't like these conditions. In fact, the other day when he played, I don't know if it was against Schwartzman or he had to go on very, very late. I think it was the match before Schwartzman. He said, it was the match before Schwartzman. He said that the conditions were just, it was too cold. Oh, it was against Jannik Sinner, who's amazing. Jannik, watch out for Jannik Sinner. He's amazing. But he basically said that it was too cold to play tennis. This is not good. He said it was actually dangerous. So that Rafa's going into this tournament a little bit like, I don't really like this. I mean, this is my tournament, and we're not playing under my conditions. This is not my home turf that I'm used to having. That's the way he feels, I think. But yet, I mean, he just loves that arena. He loves the clay. And even though people have built up that this is going to be a really tough tournament for him, Let's face it. He's dominated. He's gone right through. He's had a couple people challenging him in some sets. But, I mean, have you ever felt like he was close to losing a match here? No, absolutely not. Both these guys have just gone right through. Now, Novak had a big scare last match. Will he be tired? He came off the court and says, I'm not going to be tired. I feel fine. So both these guys have a lot of kind of like it's perfect for them to play in that I think they're both going to be fresh and ready to go. Novak has, but is it an act? That's another thing too. Is this an act when Novak says his elbow's hurting him, his neck's hurting him? He has called for the trainer against Busta when he was in some trouble. And Busta said, you know what? This dude does this all the time. This is his MO. When he's down, he just calls the trainer. Are we going to see that today? Is Rafa going to take a lead? And then Novak starts to go, and calls for a timeout? Is that going to happen today? What do you guys think? We should put money on that. All right, let's read some comments. I think Djokovic has a bit of an advantage over Nadal. Today's final will be epic. Rafa has to get the ball deep. That's very true. Here's one thing. This is either going to be one thing I think. I will be shocked. I will be shocked if Rafa can blow out Novak. I will be shocked. But I will not be surprised. And I know this sounds really, really bad. But I will not be surprised if Novak blows out Rafa, because there has been times, and I haven't seen Rafa do it to Novak that I can even think of in the longest time. There has been times where Novak gets on a roll and he just seems to love Rafa's ball. I think he's even done this to him on clay once or twice. And remember the Australian Open final last year, not this year, but last year he played Rafa and he just destroyed him. So Novak can get into a groove to where he just seems to love Rafa's ball, and Rafa definitely tries plan A, B, C. I mean, he tries everything. He never gives up, but he seems to run into Novak and have no answer for him. And he's walked off the court. There was one match where Novak destroyed him. He's like, you just can't play tennis better than Novak plays it. He said that. So he knows that about Novak. I don't feel that Novak feels the same way about Rafa's game. I think Novak feels like he's amazing. He's one of the greatest. I totally respect him. I know I could lose to him, but I don't think that Novak feels outmatched. Like if Novak's at the top of his game, I think Rafa feels like I cannot do anything against this guy. Do you guys agree with that, or am I just off on this? Okay, we're 2 minutes away. So we're definitely going to have to leave because we have got to watch this amazing final. Guys, I hope you enjoy it. Remember, savor this, because even though these guys seem like they can play until they're 50 years old, they seem like the only true champions. Like, look at this. They haven't played in the longest time, right? And Rafa just steamrolls to the finals. It just goes to show how far ahead. It doesn't seem to matter how old they get. They're just so far ahead of the rest of the tour. They are the true champions of the game. We have to, it's just like Michael Jordan in his last couple of seasons. You've got to just eat this up, enjoy it, watch the greatness. Because I think after these big three leave, you're not going to see this for a long time. You are not going to see this for a long time. So love it. Enjoy it. I hope your favorite player wins today. You guys take care.